Hello, and welcome back to another edition of All or None According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. So, tonight we are going to talk about the year 1987 and what a difficult year it was as I try to every year give you what I think some of the top metal albums are. Granted, I don't think I hit the mark all the time. Everybody has a different opinion on what their top metal albums are for each year, but I try to, give you some good choices to sit there and ponder and think about. So let's get to it. Okay, so number one, let's go there and grab it. An album, or rather a band that I got into recently, Manowar. So Manowar is, and looking right at the cover, you'll see that Ken Kelly actually designed this cover. He's the same guy who designed Destroyer and Love Gun by Kiss. So I guess Manowar wanted that more larger than life look. And what I will say about Manowar is, for a metal band, they're very anthemic and catchy, and I like that. So let's get to the album. Starts off with a song that I love, Fighting the World. Fighting the world. Great stuff. And then if that wasn't enough, the second song makes a real statement where they say, blow your speakers in rock and roll. Of course, I don't do it as good as vocalist Eric Adams does, but excellent song. I would blow my speakers to that. Okay, so then you have a song called Carry On. Starts out as a very soft ballad, picks up, another highlight for me. Violence and bloodshed, very much to the point. Violence and bloodshed, violence and bloodshed. Then you have Defender. Simple, but it says it. Drums of Doom. It's basically an intro into Holy War. More, horse galloping and thunder. About a minute and a half of that. Then there's Holy War. Master of Revenge is about another minute and a half intro into the final track on the album, Black Wind, Fire and Steel, a song that was introduced to me by Ozzy's Boneyard on Sirius XM radio. Great song. So after I heard that, I went back and heard this entire album. Good stuff. Enjoy it. And, got me to listen to some other albums, and you will be hearing more about Manowar in the coming years, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, next album we're going to talk about, and this is a landmark album for 1987. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. I know some people, in the metal and hard rock world may not agree with this and think it's a little played out, but come on, there's no denying how great this album is. Drink break. And I read all the gossip and stuff, and even my own brother went to see them at Nassau Coliseum several years back, and told me how they were very late. They basically didn't get there till like 11 and 11:30, and Axl Rose had a real attitude and blah blah blah. And I said to myself, "Buck it, I'll never see these guys." And then several years later, they had, their comeback, what did they call it? Never in a Million Years, or whatever that tour was. But they came back, they played Giant Stadium. One of my old friends had an extra ticket and he asked me if I wanted to go. So I'm like, all right. I'd never seen a concert at Giant Stadium. So I was very interested in, what a stadium concert would be like. So I'm like, all right, I'll go. $85, be gone with you. um, but you want to know something? I was very impressed. They got on at, I think it was 10 o'clock, right on the nose. And they went on for like 3.5 hours. It was a long show, and Axl Rose, that attitude seemed to be gone, had a real smile on his face. I mean, they had to play like 20, 25 songs. It was a long freaking concert. But, and of course, this album, Appetite for Destruction, figured very prominently in the show. So let's go through the album. I pretty much know everything on here. Everything's been played on rock radio and Sirius XM radio. We don't really need to talk much about the songs. We know them. I just saw the movie Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman, and one of the opening songs of that movie was Welcome to the Jungle. So opening the show at Giant Stadium was song number 2, It's So Easy. I've always known it as It's Easy, but pretty cool. Then there's Night Train, another great song. Probably my favorite song of the album is Out to Get Me, F words and all. They're out to get me. I'm fucking innocent. Yeah, I wouldn't have played it for my kids when they were little, but yeah, I had to kind of mute it a few times, but good song. Mr. Brownstone, great song. Paradise City, a little more melodic opening, great song. My Michelle, Think About You, Sweet Child of Mine. Two of the less familiar songs that are kind of buried at the bottom. You're Crazy, Anything Goes, but of course I've heard of them. And then the last song, they ended well with Rocket Queen. So again, not much to say except the fact that, they killed it. They really killed it on this album. Sad that they wouldn't ever put anything out that would be of its equal. What are you going to do? At least I won't have to bore you with any more Guns N' Roses talk after this. So, anywho, so this is where it got a little difficult for me. So, Manowar, Fighting the World, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, I considered low-hanging fruit, so I grabbed them. Going back to, and you know what, I really tried hard to bring in a third album. It was difficult. I listened to a bunch. I listened to Sepultura, Schizophrenia, Creator, Terrible Uncertainty. I had seen Creator once before. Helloween, Keeper of the Keys. You know what? I tried. They just didn't do it for me. And it's not to say that, in the coming years, you're going to see that I am into certain other German power or straightforward metal bands, but Helloween just couldn't get it done. And then there was Candlemass, a doom metal band with Nightfall. I tried, I couldn't get into that. So my third album is Top 3 Metal Notes, or Top 3 Metal Albums of 1987. Let's go to it. Testament, Bay Area thrash metal band, and a damn good one. I actually saw these guys open for Judas Priest in 1990, late 1990 at Nassau Coliseum, both Megadeth and Testament. So it was quite a bang your head night. I think my neck still hurts from that concert. So in any event, let's talk about the legacy. Testament's first album or debut album Starts out very strong with a song called Over the Wall, The Haunting. Song number 3, another highlight for me, Burnt Offerings, not to be confused with the 1995 album by Iced Earth. We'll be talking about that in a few years, so stay tuned. Raging Waters, Curse of the Legions of Death, another highlight for me. First Strike is Deadly, another one of my favorite tracks, aside from Over the Wall, is Do or Die. Great track. Alone in the Dark, another highlight. And they rounded out with Apocalyptic City. So there you have it for 1987. Manowar, Fighting the World, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, and last but not least, Testament, The Legacy. So if you like what I do, please subscribe. Please tell your friends to come visit my channel. I love having new people come and and tell me how good I'm doing. So thank you in advance for that. On another note, I probably, well, not probably, I'm definitely going to be taking a week off next week. I may try to pre-record a show and put it out there for you, but I have this project I've been working very hard on for the last year. My family and I, hard on. We've been working very hard with this project. So we bought a second home, and there's a lot of work and renovations have gone into this, and we're almost at the point where we can actually stay there. I can't wait. So got to put our painting hats on and get to work. So that's where I'll be next week. So I hope everybody's having a good summer. Stay cool, jump in that pool or go to the beach, cool off, enjoy yourselves, have that tasty freeze on the corner. This is Jack Toledano speaking for Ola Renata. Have a good night all.